Today I will be talking about the Battle of Brooklyn, otherwise known as the Battle of Long Island. As someone who lives on Long Island, until I did my research for this discussion post, I had no idea just how great a significance this battle held during the American Revolution. The Battle of Brooklyn was the first battle fought after the signing of the Declaration of Independence in July 1776. It was the largest battle of the Revolutionary War in terms of troop deployment and casualties up until that point. It demonstrated the challenges and complexities of waging a war against a superior enemy and highlighted the need for strategic adaptability. Under the command of General William Howe, British forces launched a major invasion of New York City. New York was a key strategic location, and control of the city and its harbor would provide the British with a significant advantage in the war. American forces commanded by General George Washington established defensive positions in and around New York City to resist the British invasion. One of the primary areas fortified by the Americans was Long Island, which controlled access to the city from the east. On August 22, 1776, British forces landed on the southwestern shore of Long Island. They began moving inland and encountered American defenders in the Gowanus area. The American defenses on Long Island included a series of forts and defensive lines. One of the key positions was the area around the Gowanus Heights, where the Old Stone House was located, and American soldiers were situated to defend against the British advance. The Old Stone House was situated on a hill known as Gowanus Heights, overlooking the Gowanus Creek and the surrounding area. This elevated position gave American forces an advantage in terms of observation and defense. The house was used by American officers as an observation post to monitor British movements and coordinate their defenses. Following the American defeat of the battle, the Old Stone House area became a key point in the American retreat. Many American soldiers, including the Maryland 400, retreated across the Gowanus Creek and passed through this area while attempting to escape the advancing British forces. The retreat was a harrowing experience, with some soldiers using the house and its vicinity as a temporary refuge before continuing their withdrawal. The Old Stone House, built in 1699, is one of the oldest surviving structures in Brooklyn. Its association with the Battle of Brooklyn and the Revolutionary War has made it an important historical site. Over the years, it has been preserved and restored, and today it serves as a museum and educational center dedicated to the history of the battle and the broader American Revolutionary period. The Maryland 400, also known as the Maryland Regiment or Maryland Line, was a group of American Revolutionary War soldiers from the state of Maryland who played a significant role in the Battle of Brooklyn. During the early stages of the American Revolution, General George Washington's Continental Army faced a severe shortage of troops, and he called upon various states to send their militias to reinforce his army. Maryland responded by sending approximately 400 soldiers to join the Continental Army in the summer of 1776. These troops were mainly composed of young and experienced recruits who were relatively new to military service. On August 27, 1776, British forces, under the command of General William Howe, launched a major assault on the American positions in what is now the area of Prospect Park in Brooklyn. The Maryland 400, along with other American units, were tasked with defending against British advance. The Marylanders found themselves in a perilous situation as they were heavily outnumbered and outgunned. Despite being surrounded and faced overwhelming odds, the Maryland 400 fought valiantly and held their ground, allowing many of their fellow soldiers to retreat to safety. Their bravery and sacrifice bought precious time for the American army and contributed to the overall success of the American retreat from Brooklyn. However, the majority of the Maryland 400 were either killed, wounded, or captured during the battle. Their sacrifice earned them the nickname the Maryland 400. Their story has been commemorated in various ways, including monuments and memorials in Prospect Park. The Prison Ship Martyrs Monument is a prominent and historically significant monument located in Fort Greene Park, Brooklyn, New York. It serves as a memorial to the thousands of American prisoners of war who perished while confined on British prison ships during the American Revolution. Walt Whitman wrote a beautiful poem in his response to the sacrifices made aboard those ships. Greater than memory of Achilles or Ulysses, more by far to thee than the tomb of Alexander. Those carloads of old charnel ashes, scales and splints of moldy bones, once living men, once resolute courage, aspiration, strength, the stepping stone of the today and here America. In his book, Forgotten Patriots, Edwin Burrows comments, "It's more important than ever to know how the United States was made, not merely by those gentlemen in powdered wigs and knee breeches we have heard so much about in recent years, but also by thousands upon thousands of mostly ordinary people who believed in something they considered worth dying for." Both men hold great respect and honor to the prisoners captured on those ships. This monument is truly quite fascinating. I encourage you to check out the link to the video that I'll be providing below. I believe that visiting this location would be a great idea for field trips. It has many historical sites and learning centers in which I believe students could benefit a lot from. There are various museums that will provide in-depth stories of the entire battle as well.